Hey, Joe, in researching my Hulk Hogan Movember video, I found out some interesting information about him and an argument he had with Macho Man Savage back in the day.
Yeah.
He was so impressed with his handlebar mustache, he told the Macho Man he could ride a unicycle and challenged him to a contest.
Riding a unicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Macho Man really wasn't interested.
He really wasn't interested.
No.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's just take a moment. Let's give that joke a few minutes or a few seconds. You know, a 10-second bell salute.
Fester. let it sit there and fester like the mustache on my upper lip.
This is right. On this, I don't even know where to go with that. On this episode of Wrestlestop, Jeff and I are going to do a quick recap of the weekly shenanigans in the world of WWE. Yeah, that's about it. That's what we're going to do this episode. So we're going to roll the thing and then we're going to get right into it. And we're back. Thanks, everybody, for watching our Wrestlestop logo. Remember, if you haven't already, to like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We really appreciate that. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. Yeah. And then also don't forget, well, this is going to go out probably after, but tonight we're doing another live stream of WWE 2K25. That will also be on the channel after the fact. So you can watch it if you want to watch me lose, because I still don't know how to get out of submission holds.
Yeah. And keep checking back for our Movember mustache rankings. We released number 7 today, Sergeant Slaughter. Our videos have been going up. The appearances have been going up. So thank you that are liking, commenting, sharing it with your friends and all that. We appreciate it. Let's keep the channel growing. So, but yeah, this week's wrestling, you know, looking at SmackDown and then Monday Night Raw. Everything right now is focused on the the last. What's up?
Oh, never mind.
Last chance tournament, yeah. and then obviously yes, building the Survivor Series. So. I had a few observations / questions based on that, and I know we've talked about it in the past, but I wanted to bring it up one more time. On SmackDown, they announced a classic Survivor Series match. I think it's either happening this SmackDown or the SmackDown before Survivor Series. I didn't catch the exact time it's happening, but a classic Survivor Series match of Solo and his MFTs versus a mishmash team of like Sami Zayn. I think Shinsuke,
Motor City Machine Guns,
and one of the luchadors. Was it Dragon Lee or one of those guys?
Yeah, someone with a mask.
What are your thoughts and opinions, preferences on the classic Survivor Series match versus the newer War Games format?
I prefer the classic Survivor Series match. I remember growing up as a kid, and then the whole thing was they would have the captain and he would go around trying to recruit people to his team. And I really enjoyed that as a child. I think I would really enjoy that now as a older man child. I think I would enjoy that much better. And not that there's anything wrong with the War Games match. I think that can still be like the main event. But I think all the other matches, though, should be that 5-on-5 team versus team elimination. Someone gets pinned, they're out, then it's 5-on-4, etc. I think all the other matches should be that, and then the main event can be the War Games match. You do 2 men's 5-on-5s, then the War. Well, I guess that would end up being 6 matches, and then 2 female ones, and then the women's War Games match. But I think they need to go back to that. And as far as the MFTs versus the mismatch group, what happened to the Wyatt Six?
I don't know what's going on with the Wyatt Six. I don't know. I guess Uncle Howdy's been wrestling or he's been at some shows again, but they just, every time they try and wrestle, somebody gets injured, either Uncle Howdy or Eric Rowan but even the tag teams, where's the tag team champions been? They haven't been on in probably close to a month now. So I don't know what's going on with the Wyatt Six.
Because they were for a minute there, and just talk about this just for a second, but weren't they doing an MFTs versus Wyatt Six?
That's what it looked like they were building towards. So maybe they'll do this match next Friday, and then maybe the Wyatt Six will come out and challenge, and maybe they'll take on the winner the following week.
When they announced this match, they did show Uncle Howdy in the background.
Yes.
So maybe they're still going to do something with that, but
Yeah, I like the War Games match. I like the idea of the cage and the craziness that happens in the big stunts and the big sets that come out of being in a cage. But I prefer the classic match. Of all the matches that have been announced right now, I'm looking forward to this, the classic Survivor Series match the most. And it's not because of the contestants. I don't really care about the contestants. I just like that formatted match. Like the matches from the get-go, anybody could be eliminated at any time. Whereas in the War Games, like it's like the first 35, 40 minutes of the match is just complete downtime because the match can't end. Yes, there's stunts and there's big moves and big hits, but the match can't end until everybody's in the ring. So you've got 5 people on each side. You've got 3 to 5 minutes between matches. So say it's 3 minutes. That's 8 people that have to come in. So that's at least 24, 25 minutes after the match starts that as a wrestling fan, nothing's going to happen of any import. The match is
right as far as the match ending.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, there's going to be stuff that goes on that might decide the match. So what about some sort of combination? You can have the War Games match where it's in a steel cage or a double steel cage. People enter the ring every 3 to 5 minutes, but if they get eliminated, they get eliminated and you're still down. So you could kind of do a combination of the 2 matches.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a better idea because I think they're getting away from what the essence of the Survivor Series was all about by just doing this. So yes, I agree with you. They need to go back to the old school stuff and use the War Games either sparingly, like once in a while, or make it an elimination style like the regular
edit the
ones.
rules. But book it, Triple H. We're putting out the new landscape for you, buddy. We're landscaping
the new
over here.
Of WWE. We know he watches.
Yes, he told us.
He told us that he watches. He shot me a call to tell us how much he loves watching our show. So.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm building on that. My Friday night at SmackDown, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss came down to the ring with Rhea and Io, and Charlotte Flair said she didn't trust Rhea and she backed out. She wasn't going to be a part of the match.
See ya.
They left them trying to recruit other people. There was a rumor going on over the weekend that maybe it would be Bayley and Valkyria because they've been feuding with the Kabuki Warriors. And then
have they? 'Cause they haven't been on TV in a while either.
Well, when they were on, they were feuding back and forth. Remember, Bayley kept trying to or what's her name? I can't talk today. Asuka kept trying to recruit Bayley, going back to their old days when they were in the unit together. But then this Monday night, they get into a big battle, and Charlotte Flair comes out and saves the day with the kendo stick. So I don't. What's your thoughts on this back and forth? This wishy-washy storytelling. I don't know. It just seems weird.
Yeah, it is weird. When I first saw when Charlotte Flair was like, "I can't trust you," my first thing was get somebody good in. So obviously she's still going to be in the match, and I think they just added AJ Lee to it, or they're about to add AJ Lee to it.
Yeah, and on that, you've got we've got the Kabuki Warriors, which Asuka and Kairi Sane's kind of small, and then you've got Lash Legend and Nia Jax that are just huge women. Mm-hmm. And you've got the 2 smallest women in the WWE on the other side, on AJ Lee and Bliss. That's just it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense.
You've learned.
Yeah,
I'm proud that you've learned not to say her first name.
I did. I said it once, and then I thought better of it, and I corrected myself second time around. So
for those who don't know, my Amazon device tends to go off every time he mentions that name. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just curious in your thoughts on the back and forth, and is this part of the storytelling? They're trying to drag it out, or what's your thoughts?
I think they have the mistake thinking that people actually care about Charlotte Flair still, which they don't. Most people like that group because of Bliss.
Yeah.
It's
a bit of an odd pair as well, oddball. You've got Charlotte
I feel like
Flair,
they did
tall,
it to get, because she used to be really over. Yes. Charlotte Flair did. And then people kind of started getting sick of her. And then people started booing her when she was supposed to be a good guy, and started...
When she came back and won the Royal Rumble this year, everybody was really disappointed. Yeah.
So I think their answer to that was put her with someone who's just regularly over, like Bliss is, and people would start liking her.
Okay.
And this is... I don't know if this is true. I mean, Triple H told me, but I don't know.
We can't say he told you. He asked you to be secret about it.
So
allegedly,
he told me,
a source within the WWE.
And I think they did that so people would cheer that group, but I think people are just cheering for her. So when Charlotte was like, I can't do this, I don't think anyone cared.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think it was okay, get somebody that we care about in there, So
it just seemed awkward if they were going to go that angle. Like, what's happened since Charlotte Flair came back? What's happened between her and Rhea to really make her not trust her? I get going back to Rhea's Judgment Day days, but really recently, where's that storyline coming from? It just seemed out of left field. So
yeah, I mean, get Tiffany Stratton in there instead. Get Save a Kerr, but they just gave her a stupid match at SummerSlam, so she can't be in it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people that they could put in there.
Yeah, so. Alrighty, well, that's really all I had on Survivor Series, the War Games. Did you have anything you want to add on either topic?
Not so much the War Games part of it, but the Survivor Series part of it. I mean, some of the matches, I kind of just talked about it a second ago with the Stephanie Vaquer and
Alexa Bliss.
Nope.
Nikki Bella. I just wanted to say the name one more time when I wasn't supposed to. There was a
Nikki
B in there
Bella
somewhere.
So, why are people supposed to care about that match?
I don't know. That Nikki completely
Bella
caught me off guard.
I don't think has won a match since she's been back. All of a sudden, she turns heel and she's a number one contender, and she's getting a top 4 pay-per-view slot. There's no way they're going to have her win.
Is she that over?
No, I don't think anyone really cares. I don't think she's as over. Obviously not as over as she used to be when her original run. She was very over, but I think now it's almost like how Trish Stratus was when she came back. People cheer because she's a legend, and I don't know if she's in the Hall of Fame or not, but she's one of those type of people, so people are going to cheer. But I don't think she's as over enough to warrant instantly getting a title shot against one of their biggest up-and-coming future stars.
Yeah. It's just a legend coming back to put over the young star.
Unless it's like a passing of the torch thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But they could have let her win a couple, singles matches to kind of give her some momentum or something before.
Yeah, but she won nothing. She just kind of came out and hit her with a belt, and all of a sudden she's getting a title shot at SummerSlam. The other one I'm not a huge fan of is the John Cena and Dominic Mysterio match. It would make more sense if Dom won the first time. For me, if he won the first time and then decided to say, "Hey, I can beat you again" or something like that to spark another match. But in the world of John Cena, and his last few matches, 2 of them are against Dominic Mysterio now.
Yeah, which is actually leading me into my next, what I considered non-Survivor Series topic, but it is a Survivor Series topic because they're wrestling at Survivor Series. So
okay.
It really stood out to me. The whole rumor has been all along that, John Cena was going to beat Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, which he did last Monday in his last match in Boston. And then this tournament was going to happen. The rumor is that Gunther's going to win and he's going to drop the title. It's Saturday night's main event to Gunther to kind of put Gunther over.
We can call that match if you want. Gunther versus that Evans guy.
That was a really good one.
Match.
But it jumped out at me last night that Cena came down his last match at Madison Square Garden. That New York crowd was on fire. I thought it was one of the better U.S. crowds I've heard in a while. But to have then Dominic Mysterio come down, interrupt him again, immediately set up the Survivor Series match, and then his last match in Madison Square Garden again in New York. I just looked at it as WWE must really see Dominic Mysterio as the future. That they're using him as the last storyline for John Cena's matches. Yeah, this tournament's a tournament. It's not really a storyline, but to have Dominic Mysterio be such a major part of John Cena's exit, that WWE really must see him as the future of the industry.
And, part of me is okay with that because I think Dom is really good.
Yeah.
Definitely better now than he was when he first started, when he came out with the short hair, when he was wrestling with his dad and stuff. He's definitely far better now. He's a much better character now.
Yes.
Unless this is going to be with John Cena, another one of those passing the torch type moments or something like that. But it'll be weird watching a good guy pass the torch to a bad guy.
It could be. Maybe something happens and maybe this is Dom's face turn that we've all thought coming. Maybe he doesn't beat John Cena, but something happens during the match that puts him over. Maybe he goes to cheat and thinks better of it, or something like that. But I'll be
Judgment
disappointed
Day comes out
if
and
they're
starts beating the tar out of
That's-
John
yeah.
Cena, and he's kind of like, "Whoa, wait a minute, maybe something like that." Yeah.
yeah, because it's in his hometown. It's in San Francisco, San Diego.
isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I expect something big to come out of this match, and if not, I'll be disappointed. So I hopefully
Something has to. If they're running back the same match they just did on a regular TV show, now they're doing it again on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So something good should come out of that, I hope.
So. All righty. Well, a couple other questions I had about the tournament here. We had our two surprise contestants that were revealed on SmackDown, one on SmackDown, one on Raw. I know you and I were both hoping for somebody like Joe Hendry. My wife was kind of hoping for the Iguana guy, Mr. Iguana, alongside Joe Hendry and all. But like, I was shocked that, by both characters, Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler. They were both wrestlers that kind of wrestled when I wasn't watching wrestling, so I'm not familiar with one of them. What is your thoughts? Can you explain to me why WWE chose them?
I was okay with them, mainly because basically it was just the way to get a cheap pop, get people talking about it. There was really no way either one of those two were going to win. In the crowd, at least, especially for Dolph Ziggler, he's a great wrestler. I don't know too much about the other guy. I'm sure he's a good wrestler. I just don't know much about him other than he's married to Chelsea Green.
Yeah. So neither wrestler has an extensive history with John Cena or anything that I missed?
They may. I don't know, because there was also a period where I didn't watch WWE. So
don't hold that against us fans. We've got families and kids that kind of old enough to watch wrestling with us now. But
I was a big WCW guy.
Oh, okay.
So there was a chunk of period where I was NWO for life and not D-Generation X or whatever copycat one that was. but yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about Zack Ryder.
Okay.
Other than that he's married to Chelsea Green, and I know he's supposed to be a great wrestler, and he was in WWE, then I don't know if he got fired or he quit or whatever it was, and he went on and made a name for himself on the indie scene, rebuilt back up his character as Matt Cardona, I believe it is.
I think that's his real name too, because he has said that if he comes back, he would like to come back to WWE, and if he's made an offer, it will be as Matt Cardona. The Zack Ryder is dead now.
So that's that for him. I don't know a lot about him, but Dolph Ziggler, I think he's a former world champion in WWE, and he's a great wrestler. He's like a team guy, right? They want him to go out there and lose to somebody to put somebody over. He's good with it. He kind of does whatever they want, but he looks good when he's wrestling, and he makes the other guy look good too.
Yeah, I thought they were both entertaining matches. The Zack Ryder and LA Knight match, and then the this one last night was Solo. Yeah, I thought they were both good matches. So
yeah, I think they'll bring them. I think WWE will end up bringing both of them back. I think because the crowd kind of popped for both of them.
Yeah,
more so I think for Ziggler, if I remember right. But
yeah. Well, I think the New York crowd, like I said, was just so good last night too.
So yeah, I don't know. I think they'll bring them both back. I was good with both matches. With the outcomes of both as well. I mean, neither one of those guys are full-time contracted WWE guys, so there's no way I could see them beating one of their full-time WWE
They weren't
guys.
going to beat Solo or
LA Knight.
LA Knight, yeah. But yeah, the internet right now, it's pushing for a tag team of LA Knight and Zack Ryder.
Or Zack Ryder,
Matt Cardona.
Because they're similar.
Yeah,
they're similar characters.
Similar, so. All righty. And then one last question. It's kind of a generic old school question that comes up on a lot of debate shows. But, we've got Cena retiring and everybody's calling him the GOAT. I don't want to ask you who your GOAT is per se, but who would you put on your wrestling Mount Rushmore? Not necessarily who you think the best wrestlers are, but your favorite wrestlers of all time.
The first 3 slots would be Karrion Kross.
I figured his name would come up.
No. Just my favorites.
Your personal wrestling
Mount.
Your personal wrestling Mount Rushmore. I'm going to go with my favorites, the guys, the wrestlers I've cheered for the most over the years.
Okay.
That because wrestling in particular, it's very subjective. You can't.
If I'm just going with favorites, Jake Roberts would be on there. Jake the Snake. He was definitely one of my favorites growing up. Okay, yeah, Karrion Kross would be on there because he was definitely one of my favorites. Obviously, if you watched any of our videos, you know that. Having a problem with 3. I know who 4 would be.
They're all equal. There's not really a ranking.
Well, I know. Yeah. I'm just leaving them for last.
Okay. I mean, you could have a 3-person Mount Rushmore if you don't have a 4. The 4 is to kind of limit it.
Sure, I do. So you didn't. If you would have prepped me for this prior, I would have had this answer quicker. Well, I guess Bray Wyatt's obviously my number 1 guy, but who else? You know what I'm going to say?
Who's that?
And this is going to probably change next week, but I'm just going to put him in here because it's the only one I can think of right now.
Okay.
The other 3 are locked in.
Okay.
This one is more of a floater. Vampiro.
Vampiro, wow.
Do you remember Vampiro?
I do. WCW, he was one of the early luchadors that came in, and when they were really pushing the lightweight or the cruiserweight championship, I think they called it.
I was a big fan of Vampiro back in the WCW
You are the
days.
first person I've ever heard said that or read that or wow. Alrighty, well, that's an interesting list.
Aleister Black could be on there if there was a 5th, but anyway.
I thought about my list last night, and I've got to go number 1. It's rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. But he was what got me into wrestling as a kid.
Which Hulk Hogan?
The Hulk Hogan, just Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, Terry Bollea, whatever you want to call him, Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips.
He was just everything as a kid. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, brother, all that good stuff. And just growing up, anytime he was gone for a while, and when he would come back and you would hear the Real American theme song, it just tingles everywhere. It's just nostalgia come bringing it back. Hollywood Hogan was great. I don't care what anybody says. John Cena, I'm sorry, but
I didn't know we were making
that was a much better heel turn, and
list.
it was a much bigger heel turn back in the day. Hollywood Hogan was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Well, whatever happened, it was happened. But no, Hogan's number 1. The wrestling wouldn't be wrestling the way it is now without Hogan. So after that, I would go Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm going chronological. The guys I watched after Hogan kind of left. The guys I watched and rooted for. I was a huge fan of the Hart Foundation. My brother liked the Killer Bees, so I kind of latched on to the Hart Foundation is the group. They wrestled a lot growing up, and they had a lot of back and forths. And but I loved the Hart Foundation. I thought Bret Hart and Anvil were great. They kind of they offset each other's movesets, and everything. So, but Bret Hart, when he became a singles, I really rooted for him, and I loved his title run and all that. Following him, I was a huge Shawn Michaels fan. I did not like the Rockers. The Rockers, again, were another tag team of my brothers.
You didn't like Marty Jannetty?
I did not like the Marty Jannetty or Shawn Michaels as the Rockers. My brother, again, loved them, so I couldn't like the same thing my brother did. And when Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty in the barbershop, kicked him through the plate glass window, broke my brother's heart. So therefore, I immediately started rooting for Shawn Michaels because he broke up my brother's favorite tag team. So, and then just leading into the Boy Toy, into the Heartbreak Kid, and everything.
This is like
This is my personal.
This is your fantasy.
Yes, it's my Oh yeah,
fantasy list.
I said earlier, these guys give me tingles. And then I started thinking after that, I like Stone Cold, I like The Rock, but I never liked them as much as the other 3. And then so I jumped to modern times, and I've got to give the 4th spot to Seth Rollins, a modern day wrestler. I went back and forth between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, but while Roman Reigns is around, I think I missed his heyday with him having cancer now. He can't wrestle full time. Seth's here more often when he's not either injured or faking an injury.
That's why he can't wrestle full time.
You don't think it has something to do with he's just not fully recovered from cancer, and his body couldn't.
Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
No. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
He's in Hollywood now.
Doing what?
Making movies.
What movies has he made?
They're coming out.
Exactly. Okay. Well, whatever the reason is, he's not around enough for me to put him over Seth Rollins. So I'm going to give Seth Rollins right now the 4th spot on my Mount Rushmore. So he's been my favorite wrestler the last 3-4 years since I started watching wrestling, regularly again.
Okay. Well, you guys let us know whose Mount Rushmore is better. And don't hold me to my Vampiro one. It was just the only one I could think of. He would probably be in my top 10 Mount Rushmore. I don't know if he'd be in the top.
Pick our Rushmore, who your favorite was, and then don't forget, comment, give us your Mount Rushmores as well. Remember, 4 of them, the 4 horsemen, the 4 on the Mount Rushmore. There's no 5. I don't want to hear ties. You have to pick 4.
Pick 4. And then tell him that you agree with mine.
Okay.
Because that's what's important. I'm going to end this with, remember earlier in the week, I told you I had a question. I was going to save it for
Yes, you did. I remember, yeah.
It's not so much my question. this kind of actually works off of your Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Your fantasy Mount Rushmore a little bit. So you might be able to answer this.
Yes.
This question was asked to me while we were watching, must have been SmackDown. So you have guys like in the past, like Kevin Nash, who wear like long pants. And some of the other guys who wear like long pants.
There's guys who wear long pants. There's guys who wear the tighty whities.
The tighty whitey guys. Yeah. Let's talk about them.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan was a tighty whitey guy for most of his career.
Hulk Hogan, tighty whitey guy.
He evolved into a Nash guy, long pants guy as he got older.
Yeah, because his legs probably got all chicken fat
and
looking and stuff.
He started wearing more knee braces and leg braces and stuff. Yeah.
How do these guys who wear the tighty whiteys, how does their
junk
not come out?
I mean, how do the women wrestlers breastises not
They
come
do.
out? Yeah, I guess they do, but I'm guessing that they're just not very well endowed. Maybe it's the well endowed guys that have to wear the long pants.
I mean, my answer when I was first presented this question was, well, they have like jock straps on and things like
jock
that.
strap or some sort of a tape.
But then there would be, you'd be able to see that, right? And some of these don't. They look like Ken dolls.
I get the only thing I can think of is maybe they're where, when you're wrestling, you're just things kind of shrinkage. It's cold in the ring.
You think tape maybe?
I'm guessing tape, shrinkage.
Just wondering. I'm just wondering how that's not like a bigger problem.
But I'm going to go with the if they had a problem, they make them wear long pants. Maybe that's why Cena wears jorts. Maybe
that's what.
Maybe he's the goat or the horse.
He's the horse goat. Yeah.
So
anyway, I don't know. That question was presented to me. I wanted to bring it out, put it on the table.
Okay. I'll do some research.
Yeah,
figure out what I can find out for you
me when you're thinking about your Mount Rushmore
on my personal laptop, not my work laptop.
Other than that, we're getting ready to do a live stream of some WWE. I have some issues with Jeff's controller over here. His controller's clearly modified. It's got all these extra buttons and switches. Clearly this isn't going to be a fair match. So when I lose, this is why. Just point that out to everybody.
It's a special controller I bought online.
I don't know why I got to cheat.
There's a gentleman out there who makes modified controllers for handicapped individuals. Joe's trying to mock my handicap, I guess.
What?
Anybody out there that's looking for a special controller for a disabled or physically limited person in their lives, go to benheck.com. He makes great controllers. I've had two that have lasted me about 12 years or so now, daily use. And when I bought my second one, I told him I was buying it because my first one finally wore out. And he told me to ship it back to him and he would pay for shipping both ways. And he actually repaired it for free for me. So great guy, great service. So if you need anything, comment and let me know or go to benheck.com.
I'll put that here.
BENHECK.com. But yeah, it's enabled me. Most games I can play with a standard controller, but my kids love to play shooters, first person shooters in particular. Hard to play one handed when you have to use the buttons and both analog sticks. So this controller's really helped me play games with my kids over the years. So. And now I'm going to whoop Joe's ass with it.
He is, and I'm going to complain about it the whole time. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you. I think we're at, what are we at? 6,498 subs now, something like that.
Minus 6,440.
Yeah, something. We're in that area.
We're growing. We're growing at least.
Yeah, we are growing. We appreciate everybody watching and liking and following and subscribing and telling people if you're doing so. And if not, you should.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell your neighbors. Tell your neighbors' friends and your friends' neighbors.
All of them. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. On to our live stream, and then we'll see you guys in the next video. Shout out to Ernest, by the way.
Ernest?
Appreciate you.
Ernest P. Worrell?
Ernest is a guy I used to work with.
Oh, I thought we were going to have John Cena. John Cena's starting to look like the old Ernest.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to retire to bring back the Ernest character. Ernest, Jim Varney, that was his name, the actor. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ernest, buddy.
Yeah. No, he gave me some pointers. He runs a channel as well, and he was giving me some pointers about our channel. So
awesome.
Appreciate that. So thank you, Ernest. And everybody else, thank you. Like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.